Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to this special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in right at 500, looking to get that win to bump them back above 500.
This game means a lot to them because of what you just talked about. When you can bump yourself over 500, it's a lot of optimism in your building as you move forward in the season.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be Case Keenum, the 6'1 QB out of the University of Houston.
And what a career he had for the Cougars. How about over 5,000 yards passing in 3 seasons there, each of 3 seasons? And it hasn't stopped because last year in Minnesota, 2017 for the Vikings, over 3,500 yards, went 11-3 as a starter. He still has the magic.
Throwing on first down is Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The first carry for Jeremy McNichols. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. A Bronco first down. Keenum hooking up with Thomas.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line to center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On second down, here's Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and it's third down. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And that is incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And while he was at Eastern Illinois, he broke Tony Romo's school records for career passing yards and touchdowns before initially joining the league as the backup to Tom Brady as a second-round pick.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here first and 10 at the 20. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. Here's a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field, and when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now we just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert?
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Von Miller in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Steps under pressure again, and down he goes again.
It's up about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And Gold is able to put it through, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On 1st down, Keenum. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
However you measure DeForest Buckner, 6'7", 6'8", it really doesn't matter. He looks like a basketball power forward. And the one thing that he always focuses on and concentrates on is leverage. How does he drop his pad level so he can get down there and compete with the blockers of the NFL?
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
McKinnon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Garoppolo looks to throw. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The L on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
Here we go. 13.
Now Garoppolo. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
65.
Toss play to McKinnon. And some room to roam now. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
It's important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Sliding out of the pocket. And that's going to be incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
They come out here in the eye. He's going to get it running right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Gould now out to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. This is Freeman. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On third and long, it's Keenum. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session and be saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Back near his goal line. Here's Keenum. Allen's got it over the middle. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Keenum. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. This is caught, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And a nice gain at 21 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Garoppolo again. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. And this is incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Most teams in the league hitting the three-quarter pole in the preseason. The whole league will be in action next Thursday night to wrap it all up. And then we start for real a week after that with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Bradley Roby, the cornerback, there to make the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
Here again is McKinnon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
.46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that side.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is brought in at the 21. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit. Think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker to change things up.
Exactly. Whatever the case, something to mix it up here. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on first down. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. He's going to look deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defenses... Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play. Keenum to Thomas. 41 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And that'll be incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
I think someone's going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And McManus able to put it through, and that lead is back down to 9 now. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And last time, one-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He'll look to throw. He finds Taylor, complete. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Deep ball for Goodwin. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call or get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Distance was never an issue, not in this mile-high air. But it doesn't matter what elevation you're at if you don't put it on target. And this one kind of takes off on him.
On first and 10, Keenum. And open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Open man, it's Allen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Throw left side. It's reeled in by Hamilton. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the gun, Kelly toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll move them back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
All right, now look at
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Gold is able to put it through. And you can bump the lead up to 9. It's 15-6. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Kelly. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lawson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's McKenzie. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Here's Kelly to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hamilton. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to have a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Broncos on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Kelly. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On first down, it's Kelly. Over the middle, complete. That's Hamilton. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open. That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
Now let's go.
On 2nd down, Kelly. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. The Broncos on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Now let's go.
From the gun, Kelly. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Looking to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now it's Breida. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They run again with Breida. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Here's Breida. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And Denver getting set to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged?
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And who else to make the big play to seal this victory but Richard Sherman?
He does have an exquisite sense of timing, doesn't he? He loves the spotlight, loves the big stage, really feels no pressure when there's a big play that needs to happen, and he just did another one right there. Remember when he knocked one away to seal an NFC Championship game against San Francisco?
Yep.
And that was really kind of the big arrival on stage for the rest of the world was that play in that game for Richard Sherman.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.